Everybody's raving at me. I wave right back. Gamer 199. Can you hear me okay? As I said, we're gearing up for the top 16. It's been pretty interesting so far. An interesting mix of double stick and European single stick. I'm pretty sure we've got a pretty even mix coming up, those two. I'm going to get comfortable because I have a feeling it's going to be a few minutes. If you're looking for the link, probably the best place to find it would be on our YouTube channel. Once you bring it up, it's suggesting just copy paste. I am working from my phone, and this thing is kind of glitchy. I had to start and stop this live stream at least 4 times already. So now that I've got it going, and people can kind of see and hear us, I am very reluctant to start pushing buttons.
Can I get a picture with anyone who fought? Pavilion? After that. Up. Anyone who fought? Yeah. You can take, it can be fast. Alright, sige, solos. You can take your pose. This one will go on the website. Alright, 3, 2, one more, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Yan, kahit ganyan lang, okay lang. Alright. Ready, 3, 2, 1. Just lang. Okay, ready, 3, 2, 1. Good, thank you. Alright, okay, move forward. Alright, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Yeah, next. Okay, ready, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, got it. Thank you. Next, you can do your pose. I know you have a signature. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. One more. 3, 2, 1. Good. Thank you. Anyone who fought? Oh, I don't. Oh, here?
Unfortunately, I don't close that and find it. Close that out.
They would. Gusto mo ng follow? Ibang post? Ganun. It's not like naked and that word. Maybe it's not naked that word. A few weeks like, wow, it's good. I'll just take it for you. Well, we paid so much money for it. I just need someone making sure the deck is good. Find someone.
Actually, this is not our gym. It is a mall called Tiendesitas. We're very gracious. They've given us a fantastic rate for our second band event. But yeah, if we had this as a training space, that would be amazing. We're giving the fighters a little bit of a break between drills. A little bit of water. Stand in front of a fan for a couple of minutes. I know I've never spent much time in the Philippines, but even with the air conditioning, it is pretty hot and humid. And having to put on fight gear. Makes you feel like a little melty pretty quickly. Actually got lucky this year. We got the air conditioning. Last year we didn't. This year's way more fun. Judges in place. Looks like we are about to get started. Some of our fighters are we're making a pretty short match.
Your check.
How well can you dodge? It doesn't count as a disarm until they start with a weapon in the first place. Yes, it's a pretty new event. A lot of participants that are not involved in HEMA are in motor drills, so there's always a little bit of last minute adjustments. We've actually had to cut taping in here. Not all that I and they're off. That's a pretty definitive hit. Can't really argue that one. 3 points to red. Good way to start. New fighters should be different guards. They have a lot of places to go for that. They're not in guard position. Notice he had to pull his hand back from the shoulder. Our director is telling him that those strikes he was throwing are not sufficient. So, another few points for red. Fighters swing hits. Double hit. Now 3 doubles, and unfortunately they both lose the match. So let's hope they don't do that 2 more times. Yep. See this. Shut the head with red. Oh, it's dead? Yeah, that just means the battery. Bring it up.
Get ready. Please go to the fighter's area. You have 30 seconds. Rafael Benita and Rafael Vidal. Who's on deck? Ready, Rafael Jaime and Rafael Vidal. Stay close to the 6.
We have another camera that is supposed to be working, but
All players will have Rafael Benito and Rafael Vidal. Please stay at the chair of the fighting area chair, please.
Yep, that was enough.
2 points red.
I guess they forgot they were fighting. Call that a headshot for Mead. Mead through his guard.
3 points blue.
Looks like they're calling it blue for red.
2 points blue.
There's a difference in scoring between weapon arm and non-weapon arm. Weapon arm is worth 2 points. And the fellow with the 2 sticks, both of his hands count as weapon arm, so it doesn't matter which arm you hit.
2 points blue.
Blow and an afterblow, I would say. And what the judges decide. Blow from blue, hit from red. Yep, 1 minus 1, 0. Just like that. Yep, that was definitely a pull for red.
2 points red.
Another point for red. Blue fighter comes in, throws a strike, needs to get out. He's hanging in there just a little bit too long, and that gives the guy with 2 sticks a chance to throw a second strike. It's either throw and get out or defend. Giving 2 points to the blue fighter,
2 points blue.
and that is match
Victory
point.
blue.
Well done.
In the ring, Rafael Benito and Jose Silva. On deck, Johan Santiago, Winston Aricheta. Please get ready.
This is actually our first attempt at live stream. Well, that's not entirely true. For Blood and Iron events, we have live streamed in the past for a lot of our tournaments, Big Combat Con and SoCal and all those things. But this is the first one that we've tried since our move here in the Philippines. But
In the ring, Rafael Benito and Jose Silva. On deck, Johan Santiago and Justin Aricheta. Please get ready.
we are going to try and live stream all of our top 16s and our finals, if possible. This is an initial experiment. I'm running it off my data, so hopefully this will get cut off at some point. I think I've got enough for this. If you are watching our live stream and you want to share it, Mr. Wise, I'm not really sure how to go about that from my phone. As I said earlier, it took me like 4 attempts to set this thing up. Whenever I switch screens, I won't have it back. 2 sticks versus 2 sticks. That's just messy. No.
First level.
Double hits are not rewarded here. Probably a little bit.
3 points blue.
Yep. One of the judges calling it as a double, but the other fella saw it as a 1-2.
2 points red.
Sometimes with double sticks, it's hard to see what landed first. A little bit of flurry there.
3 points blue.
Another double.
Second double.
So the director's going to be calling them in and maybe giving them a few pointers on how to avoid doubling. Because 3 doubles, and I'm pretty sure you're out. Sometimes in the Olympics they treat it a little differently. If you double out, it just adds, it takes away from the points, so it's unlikely that you will advance. Yeah, up here, good shot.
3 points blue.
Alright, blue fighter advances. Next up. Double stick, there's a single stick again. Let's see how we go. Window's calling it head, Window's calling it arm.
3 points red.
They called it a head. Yep, that was definitely up an arm. 2 points to go.
2 points blue. Two points blue. 1 point blue.
Neat about the pretty quick because that was actually slow.
1 point blue.
Yeah, judges aren't happy with that. Nothing sufficient, so we're going to
1 point blue.
Yeah, not sufficient. Losing the last game. Yeah, that fighter got one. I would call that as a body shot, but judge across the ring. But this is where angles make all the difference. Quite often, we know that the fighter's been hit, but depending on the angle that you saw it from, have at least 3 angles covered and 2 people to each other.
3 points red.
Well, the red fighter finished one contact with the blue fighter's leg. The record is calling it insufficient. Yes, either it was not enough of the weapon on the or it was not sufficient rotation. Yes, however,
3 points blue.
that was 3 points for blue.
1 point blue.
Big shot had something with it. Hopefully that wasn't
First double. 1 point blue.
today. You see the red fighter adjusting his leg armors. It's good enough to knock off your leg armor, but it's probably insufficient.
Last exchange.
Headshot.
3 points blue. Now. In the ring, Jose Manica and Pedro Cajonera. On deck, Jorge Clark and Jericho Viejo. On deck, Jorge Clark and Jericho Viejo.
Started running match here. Fighter is 6. Fighter is If you find it interesting how they managed to try and make it fair, when you have 2 weapons but you're a little bit shorter against a single weapon. And then the targeting where if you have a weapon in your hand, it's worth 2 points. And if you don't have a weapon, it's only worth 1 point. Yeah.
3 points blue.
Oh, right now. as I was saying earlier, a lot of the competitors that not usually fighting in HEMA have the Oro gear. And Oro gear never fits quite as well as you. Alright, he looks like he's back. And a displays of sportsmanship. Now, you may think this counts as a disarm, but technically he still has one weapon, so he has not been completely disarmed. I guess there's no points awarded. Nobody liked what they saw. Sorry about that. Volume is a little loud. I will speak louder. How about that? My apologies. I'll do what I can for volume.
First level.
I wish I would have seen your notes a little sooner. Yep, that is definitely a good headshot. Unless they're counting the first one. Really just got here? Thank you. Thank you for joining us. This is being held in a place called Tiendesitas II. Pretty sure this is still classic. I'm not quite sure of my neighborhoods here. I know where I live. I know how to get to certain places. But this is not on my list. We're still getting used to things here. Breaking through the red lights are pretty good. Oh, that's you? That is a good answer.
3 points red.
Lock the stick and return fire. Generally speaking, a good strategy if you're dealing with 2 weapons versus 1 is trying to move to the fighting outside line. Just like that. Make a parry and then move offline. Judges deliberating. I don't know, I kind of thought it was a headshot, but you decide. One person flanking maneuver. Yes. I'm cool with that. But staying in the middle of somebody with 2 sticks,
2 points blue.
probably not safe to stay. I think the red fighter figured it out just a little too late. So, this may be the end of the top 16. Fighters choosing their weapons. Now, the interesting thing with this tournament is you are not locked in. That'd be like watching some HEMA at midnight. Hey, HEMA never sleeps. What other weather types are happening? Well, for the most part. And it's a little bit longer. I believe the stick is 36 and the shorter sticks are 34. The deal of the shorter 2 sticks count as 2 weapons. So if you manage to land a hit, this count as 2 points instead of 1. So you get the 2 weapon attack.
1 point
Separate microphone, but I guess it's still picking up a lot of the stuff in the background. I'll try and pause when they're talking with their microphone. Hopefully that'll help. If it's just me talking, no background noise, things are fine. Yeah. I think some of it is I'm getting overshadowed by there is a sound system in the room. Yeah. I'll just, like I said, I'll try and keep my commentary in between announcements. All right, there they go. Now, I believe they were saying that this is the AC units. If I turn off the AC units, I'm going to have a whole bunch of people chasing me with sticks. So no, that ain't happening. Nice suggestion, though. But from what I understand, I believe this is the last fight in the top 16, and then from there, we will see who progresses. Thank you. Glad to know when I'm doing well. all the positive commentary. I'm doing a good job. Oh no, absolutely. Please tell me. Sound is a thing. I do all the video editing for the YouTube channel for Blood and Iron, and that was one of the first things that we noticed was if the sound isn't right, nobody will watch it. So I get kind of picky with it myself.
3 points red.
I do appreciate the commentary and the feedback. It is all useful. So yes, if you notice something that needs fixing, please tell me. Trying to make up their mind here. We'll love, we'll hide. Well, thank you. The more the merrier. Well, Lee and I travel a fair bit, so their possibility does exist. I'm not sure how often you get to Southeast Asia. I think we're planning a trip to Mexico in next year for a tournament event. That's mostly why we travel, is HEMA related. So I mean, if there's a tournament coming up or a teaching gig that somebody's asked us to come out to, that's probably where you'll find us. And yeah, for the most part, we enjoy sparring. So if you see us somewhere and we're on a floor, come up and ask. Gotta say though, I'm really not doing longsword these days. Most of my fighting is rapier and dagger, side sword and buckler. I like two-weapon fighting these days. I know I'm mostly known for longsword, but just not doing it for me. Maybe it's because I live in a place where it's 40 degrees. Yeah, that was actually when Lee and I first started. The SCA tournaments were all that we had available too. So way back 20 some odd years ago, God, dating myself here. But yeah, that's where we got some of our first fights too. HEMA, the very first HEMA competition that we had ever heard of attended, well actually, the very first one that we knew of was in Germany, and Lee went to that. And then the first one in North America was actually Festual America down in Texas. And that was like 2010, 2009, I'm guessing roundabout then. But yeah, SCA for the longest time was the only place you could go. Thankfully now we have more options, because I don't know about your local SCA group, but the one that we had to play in, some of them were just so soft. I hate to say it, but it was too touch. If your sword bent at all, that was like extreme brutal force as far as some of them were concerned. Now we had a little core group that we'd get together and we could actually spar like normally, but in a tournament, yeah. I accidentally made some girl with mouse ears cry because I touched her mask in an SCA fight. That was sweet, I gotta say. No disputing that. Yep, that's match red. I really love those ones that are just so clear. Well, that's good. Get a little bit of experience in both. The more tournaments you go to, tournaments that you go to, everyone has their own rule set, and it's like whoever backyard you're playing in kind of decides the rules. And in the beginning, you go out there and you try all these different rule sets, and then from there you can kind of decide which ones you like. Because you can vote with your wallet, we always do. Before you sign up for an event, take a look at the rules and just think on how they're going to play out. Sorry? Oh. We are getting into the finals in this. I'm here. Is this the bronze medal? There you go. Double versus single. New fighter's looking a little more mobile than he has in other fights. Strike to the body, but there may have been an afterblow. We'll see what our judges decide. Yeah, I think they're calling it a... 2 points to blue. All right. I guess that's going to be 2 points for red, because that definitely looked like weapon arm. You have range advantage, and as far as the scoring goes, you only have one weapon arm. So if they manage to hit the other arm, it's only 1 point instead of 2 points. And also too, we had to consider, this is a sort of mixed style tournament. So for the Arnis players here in the Philippines, this is a good way, a crossover event where we try to keep it evenly weighted. And they're not working with something that is a completely foreign weapon. So they can use what they're comfortable with. And we've seen plenty of matches where a single stick is won, and it really is just the skill, which is what we're looking for. So, going into the semifinals and finals, we have an iPad score. So what we've tried to do is, if there is any uncertainty, especially when you started getting into the higher stakes matches, well, we can do a slow-mo replay and just see what actually happened. Most of the time, using our line judges is sufficient. Now, it doesn't sound very good, but on average, when we've looked at our scoring, we've got about a 75% accuracy rating, which I don't know how much you've done in HEMA, but there's a lot out there that the judging would be closer to 50-50, if that. So, 75 to 80% getting it, that's actually not too bad. Well, the difficulty when it comes to judging in HEMA is finding people that do enough sparring that they can follow the action accurately. You can't have someone who doesn't spar with a weapon judge the weapon. It's only through experience that you know what a sufficient cut is. You know how much rotation you need, how much draw across the weapon. So this kind of stuff is really important. Yeah, we have two different scores from the different side judges, and if he's calling for a piece of armor because it has more solid sound. We don't usually choose armor to be a sound for the judges. What we're looking for is how well does it protect, how well can you move wearing it. Now, hard plastic does a really good job of protecting you. I have had people comment that they did not want a particular piece of armor because it was hard plastic, and the judges would hear it. Yeah, no, we don't really rely on audio. It is pretty much all what we see, because we've learned over the years that not everyone has plastic pieces. There are people that are still using soft armor. And no, you don't really hear it all that much. So it is a fair comment. That was actually one of the biggest comments we got when the Wakuzi masks came out. If you can see the blue fighter, that is a Wakuzi mask. And they are great for protection. But they are solid plastic. So in that exchange, it looks like they're giving 1 point to the red fighter. You ordered a solid plastic mask? Yeah, oh, they're great. Like I said, the Wakuzi, if that's the one that you ordered, they are one of the best masks. I mean, I've been doing this for since early 2000s. And I started off with the Leon Paul coach's mask, and that lasted me a fair bit. But you can still get your head locked pretty good with those. I have found so far the Wakuzi, it absorbs a lot. Like I don't get hit in the head, but I don't know whether it's because it's plastic and the rust kind of glide off of it. But I don't find they hit as hard. iPad day yet again. Looks like they're calling that as a shot to the hand. I think they're just checking to make sure that they actually got hand and not stick. Well done. Where's his armband? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what the stick fighters wear. Now, because we're not thrusting, we'd allow the mask that he has. In any of our other tournaments coming up, once we move. Sorry, I forgot. Wait for the microphone lady to stop talking. Now, in our future tournaments, because we will be fighting with synthetics and we will allow thrusting, that would not be allowed simply because, well, it would probably fit between those little slots, and we don't want to make anybody a pirate. As cool as pirates are. Okay. That would be a double. Now, for some of the Arnis guys, it would not be pleasant using an eye to a sword. It's funny because historically, if you look at some masters, that was a thing. That occasionally they would lose an eye. It was usually a student that did something random. Don't trust those newbies. As I was saying earlier, for some of these fighters that came from Arnis, they're not quite used to rattan fighting. A lot of them will fight with foam or a lighter stick. Now, I don't know if you've ever been hit with a piece of rattan. It stings. And it stings for about a minute and a half. So you can see Blue Fighter, is kind of like rolling his arm a bit. He's probably got a shot to the bicep, and it's probably smarting just a wee bit. We call them stick kissers. Oh yeah, no, it creates the most interesting bruise. It's like a red ring, and then in the middle it's almost white, and then there's a little red dot. It looks like you've been kissed by a stick. One of the worst places to get hit, inside thigh. I've taken a couple of those, and yeah, it smarts. Well, if you've been hit in a sensitive spot, you will definitely know it. And the funny thing is, the more you fence, the less it stings. The first time it happens, it'll be like, yeah, you'll almost have to stop fighting for a minute or two. After you've been doing it for a few months, it's like, man, oh, we'll just keep going. Yep. Somebody else has experienced this. Oh, the absolute worst tippy to get, and this was a fella that was in our club, and he did not tell us that he had piercings. He had nipple piercings. Took a swipe across the chest with the tip. Yeah. That was not fun for him. If we had known, we would have told him, you can take all your jewelry off before you spot. Yes. That is always the rule. Any jewelry you have, you take it off. But I guess he never removed his shirt. We didn't know, and he didn't think of it. Yep. He was rolling around the floor for a while. We couldn't figure it out. We thought he was just being a wuss and he told us he had piercings. The only other really funny rolling around on the floor one we had a student that for whatever reason, several occasions, just would go to spar and he would not be wearing his cup. Now, the first time it happened, our eye was in a cell, but our MRI to our student. First time it happened, we're like, dude, you gotta get one. We can't let you spar. We asked him, you got your cup? Yeah. It was out before, it gets hit again. He was not wearing it. Third time it happened, we're like, why aren't you wearing one? And his response to this, because I'm cheap. Oh, the MRI medical imaging. Yes, I thought you meant in your cell. Meant something special. But yes, get an MRI machine, that would be like, oh man. They come flying out of you and stick to the wall. But yeah, anyway, our student is rolling around the floor in a little ball. We're like, why? Why are you not wearing it? Because I'm cheap. You're also taking yourself out of the gene pool, so maybe that's a good thing. After that, we went out and bought one for him. We made everyone in the school sign it, and then for a year he had to wear it outside of his pants so that we could make sure that he was actually wearing it. Ah, yes. Yep. That was sufficient. Blue to red. I would have called that a headshot. But let's see what the judges scored on this. Oh, they're going to use the iPad again. Man, these things come in handy. We actually saw this in some of the tournaments in, I think it was Hong Kong and Taiwan. And we really liked how it sort of covered the base. Like when we weren't sure, and they could call in the slow-mo replay. Well, that is a choice. Red Fighter is allowed to choose between 2 sticks or a single stick. Now, the choice with 2 sticks, they are a little bit shorter, so you lose some range, and you also expose yourself to a second weapon arm point scoring. So, weapon arm is worth 2, and the other arm, or off arm, is just worth 1. So, he has a little bit of an advantage, but he also has a little bit of a disadvantage. And the same goes with the single stick fighter. Their weapon is longer, and their offhand is only worth 1 point. So we try to keep it as fair as possible, so it can include fighters that maybe don't fight with a single stick. We really intended this to sort of be the crossover between the European style and sort of the Arnis Eastern martial arts fighting styles. Our next event is going to include a simulator for katana. So not only will we have body and head are both worth 2, no, head is worth 3, body is worth 1, weapon arm is worth 2, leg is worth 1. So if you think of it this way, head is 3, weapon arm 2, the rest, everything else is 1. Keeps it simple. But yeah, our next event, B.A.M 3, we are intending to include the JSA groups. The more martial arts that we can open this up to, the better. The very, very start of this was an event, I believe it was in Portland that we were involved in, and it was called Short Blades Symposium. Is that fairly standard? No, this is actually fairly new. Having crossover tournaments like this, the first one is waiting for the lady to stop talking again. The first one that we were involved in was called Short Blade Symposium, and I can't remember whether it was in Portland or Seattle, but it was definitely across the border. And the whole idea was to bring together Western and Eastern martial arts. And the event was actually pretty cool because not only do we had our niece, we had our Japanese arts, we even had a couple of people who were from an African martial art. And the only requirement was the length of the weapon. So they had simulators in different lengths depending on what your chosen weapon was. And you were either in sort of the longer weapons, the shorter weapons, or sort of the knife weapons. And it was a really interesting test of skills, and it was really fun and exciting to spar a completely different discipline. Recently online, we've had some sparring with katanas against rapier. We had some sparring with katana against, I think there's a longsword match. One of our students, Paulo, has 20 years of JSA, and he has recently joined us in the last year or so doing HEMA. And so we got our hands on a katana simulator, and he was really curious to see how he would pair up against HEMA weapons using his JSA skills. And initially, yeah, things went pretty well for him with the rapier. And then we figured out a way around it, and then longsword, two-handed versus two-handed. So it's an interesting experiment. We'd really like to do more of it. That is the plan for, I think, the next B.A.M event will be coming up in either June or July. And that is the goal, is to have synthetic weapons, so have your basket hilt, have your katana, and have, I believe, the Filipino equivalent. What is rapier defense against katana? Well, you have range. So the idea is don't let them get past your point, because the katana is shorter. And if you can't offset their point, if they come in full thrust, if they try to cut, you disengage. So they might try to bind your blade and come forward with their thrust, or if they try to cut you. But almost always, unless you've got a super short rapier, most of ours are 40 and 42, even the 36. There's a 38. Can't remember what our shortest rapier length is, but all of our rapiers were definitely longer than the katana. And he kind of surprised me on the first exchange because he just bolted forward, and once he got past the tip, yeah, he could come in for his thrust. But once we figured that out, yeah, it was a little easier. And I mean, historically, it did happen when I think it was the Spaniards that came to Japan and they get into duels. And unfortunately, yeah, the Japanese really didn't have much of a chance. One, they were shorter people and they're working with shorter weapons. And if you throw in a dagger in the mix, they were having real trouble. So if you wanted the two-weapon fighting, I guess you'd have a katana and the wakizashi. That would take care of your sword and dagger. I know in the Philippines, what is the name of their weapon? Sanspar? Okay. I'm going to butcher this word. Not so much a speed advantage. Maybe on the disengage. If they try to bind your weapon, that squeeze and release that you can do to get control of their sword again. But generally speaking, a shorter weapon will cut a little bit faster. So your advantage with the katana would be mostly to your thrust. Sweet shot to the face. Yeah, that's looking a little doubly to me. They're trying to call it for blue. Yeah. We'll see what the iPad says. Okay, they're not counting it. They're saying the blow was flat. Now, you may be wondering, how in the world can it be flat? These are sticks. It has everything to do with the orientation of the wrist. That was beautiful. We are recording an online stream, so don't worry, this will be available later. I understand it's probably well past your bedtime. Thank you for joining us. Yes, well done, Lear. Fighting in the semis. We're getting close to the end here, folks.
First semis, Ryan Law and Rafael Benito on deck, Luis Ortiz and third of yellow.
You are most welcome. Give me a topic, I will ramble on. HEMA related. Oh, our double stick fighter has opted for a single stick for this match. I wonder what made him change his mind. How do you avoid doubles? Usually the advice I give to people is always defend yourself first. If you see something coming, generally speaking, a double is two people swinging at the same time. If you start your blow and you see somebody throwing and it looks like it's going to be a double, I will intercept that stick. I will intercept that sword before I will continue my attack. It's more important to me to stay alive than just to hit the other guy. Generally speaking, what you want to do is try to find some way to control your opponent's weapon. Whether it's covering their sword, binding their sword, somehow making sure that they can't hit you while you hit them. Now, in the beginning when you're first starting, a lot of people, they get all excited and they just think about, I'm just gonna hit my opponent. It's not about the hit. Fencing is the art of defense. So making sure that you defend yourself first.
3 points blue.
Yep. that is a very good thing to do, getting the opponent's blade out of the way. The other one is sort of using angles and closing lines. If your opponent has their weapon out in front of them, there are ways that you can cover their sword as you come in, so they can't just swing and hit you. But until I actually have someone standing in front of me, I can't tell you. So I get this, put down the dagger for minutes. Yes, actually fighting a single sword will give you a really good idea on how to use angles and leverage. That's the other part of it. Where you contact on the sword is so important. So they're doing some iPad scanning to see who landed the point. No points awarded. Blow and after blow. That looks like it was a double. Keep going. Oh, not again. I think they're hoping that one of them was insufficient. Yeah, I know. Speak of the devil and he'll appear. We'll stop talking about those now. We don't want any more. They're calling a blow to the head with an afterblow, so it might be at 2 points for the blue fighter. Let's wait and see what the iPad says. I'm kind of hoping that we'll get to a point in these things where I can have a multi-camera setup and I can do the, slow-mo playback myself. But unfortunately, we're not there yet. All clean hits all the time. Yes, that would be the ultimate. Just have fighters that just hit so clean that I don't need any replay. It gets a little better as you get toward finals, and one thing I have to say about this event is these fighters have been really good about calling blows against themselves. There's been a number of times where we've gone to award a point to a lower point scoring target area, and they have come forward and they've said, no, it's been my head, no, it's been... Ultimately, that's what this is about.
Next match, Police Ortiz and Jericho Viejo.
Here we go. All right, 3 points blue. Good start.
3 points blue.
Oh, how nice. Looks like red fighter broke through blue fighter's guard and blue fighter's acknowledging. See, this is what I mean about the sportsmanship in this event. That's the problem with going low and not controlling your opponent's weapon. If you're going to do that, at least find some way to get them to go high. Yeah. Now, it varies from event to event. I mean, there have been events that we've gone to where it's not allowed. You're not allowed to comment to the judges or the director, and it's just whatever they call it what it is. And this goes back to the whole voting with your wallet and sort of going through and seeing if the event you're considering. Yeah, SEA, that's kind of their mandate, is you have to call it against yourself. But I've had quite a few people that have ignored stuff in SEA ballots too. But going back to the whole voting with your wallet thing and checking out what the rules allow for, it really makes a huge difference. Like systems that allow for a weighted afterblow. Whoa, that was sweet. A system that allows for a weighted afterblow, meaning that afterblow counts for the same points as if it were a real strike. You'd have people that intentionally will let you hit them in the arm or hit them in the leg just so that they can land a head strike. Where in reality, would you ever let someone take your arm off so that you could hit them in the head? No. But there are tournaments that are run that way. So yeah, seeing fighters that are willing to give points up. The big one is willing to give points up. Willing to give points up for potentially, losing a match.
3 points red.
Not sure what they're tabulating. The brief interruption is all about. New fighter is a winner from last year. And his mobility is really good. Oh yeah, no. Ray is one of our scorekeeper helpers, and yes, she does a lot of her own dresses, and you should see some of them. Absolutely gorgeous. Back to the iPad to see where it landed. Sometimes it happens just a little too fast. Someone's been hit. It's kind of hard to tell exactly where. As I was saying earlier, sometimes the angle makes all the difference. I've had plenty of times where I thought things have landed to the body or the head, and it's just because from where I'm standing, that's what it looked like. When we play the replay back later and you realize, oops. I mean, you're correct that the blow is landed, but actual vicinity of where the blow is may have been a little off. Okay, now this may be a slightly unusual rule compared to some events that we've been to, but if a fighter were to block their head with their arm, even accidentally, he still counted as a blow to the head. This theory is it would have gone through your little wrist into your head. Edge work, you can kind of tell when they're thrown on edge based on the angle of the wrist. So again, this goes to sparring experience and just kind of knowing what you're looking at. That was a really nice last exchange. And blue fighter is going to advance. Red fighter put up a really good fight though. That last exchange was beautiful. That's exactly what we want to see. Ray and her lovely dance. Okay, we're getting ready for our next match. Here we go. Oop, just missed. I'm guessing point with afterblow because I think he got that rooting for boot. Absolutely. Last year's champion is definitely worth rooting for. I think we're going to give the red fighter a couple minutes because he's due to fight right away. So giving him a bit of a water break. Clock is ticking. just completed a match, so we need to give him a little bit of a breather before we throw him back in the ring again. Otherwise, it's just a little too much of an advantage for the rear fighter. Yes, that's exactly. Can't blame him. The jacket that he's wearing does not breathe very well. So this is the bronze medal match. I think sometimes it's different down on the floor.
Defense correct.
That's what I would have called it as a double. It looked like they both swung at the same time. Yeah. Here, give him some troubles. Here we go. Nope. Again with the belt. That looked like they both swung at the same time. I'd be surprised if it came back and it worked. No, saber would be a close approximation. That was better. Reach a red for the head. That was a little bit more clear. We're going to have another look. It looks like there may have been an initial blow from blue before red got his head off. Let's check and make sure. Sufficient contact. That will be for the judges to decide. Okay, I guess they didn't like it. That was definitely a headshot. But we kind of use it in place of saber. We use it like a Mesa, single-handed sword. It's kind of like our entry level to single-handed weapons. our next will be up and coming the
Finals match. Ronaldo versus Luis Ortiz. Finals match.
We have some guys for the gold medal match. We're going to change things up a little bit. Instead of fighting with sticks, these guys. Where's my European We're going to switch to synthetic. So this is a preview of B.A.M 3. Both of these guys are very experienced in handling these weapons. So this should be a bit of a treat. Now, ordinarily, these weapons have not come with a leather basket hilt. That's a modification that we made because the original handles that came with them would not fit as safety blanket. So, we have one of our students here, Jay Cruz, who has a company called Biker Crafts. Does a lot of leather work and came up with a basket hilt to fit our sabers. Blue fighter is Ryan Hook. And the red fighter. Ortiz. These guys are club mates, so it makes it a little bit more fun. Nothing better than fighting friends in a tournament. I want the shiny more than you. Yep, we're going to give that a point for that one. At least that would be a high call. Let's see what the judges score. Back in iPod review. If we had any more time, we'd take their masks off and breathe. They didn't like anything, so no points awarded. Continue fighting. That was close. I think Ryan is signaling a blow. Gold medal match. They are definitely consulting the iPad. Shot. Now see, I would have called that a head, but we're calling it an arm. My vantage point has advantage. A little bit tippy. Maybe I'm just getting too big. Not enough. Definitely a body shot. Maybe 1 point for red.
1 point red.
Bad replay. Let's see what they have to say. Hey, nothing there, folks. Nobody liked anything. Almost a leg. That was definitely a hit. Right to the body. Nope, not quite. Close. If he had pressed his attack, he would have had it. See, this is where I get picky. To me, it looked like it was the very tip of the sword. But again, a lot of this is question for the coaches. Ooh, that was a sweet face shot. Not enough. Oh, I thought they would have ignored that. Well, it's not over yet. I guess that means he's acknowledging a blow to the head, and seeing as there's only 1 point left to win, oh, it's always sweet to see teammates and people being happy for each other. Well, grappling, you can grab the sword, you can grab the arm, but I think that was more congratulations. It was very well done. So, yep, that will definitely be our B.A.M 3 with synthetics. So think sabers, think katanas, and the now we're going into the award ceremony. I will leave Nickel here to answer any questions you may have, but I have to go distribute some medals, so be back in a bit.
So guys, we get to award our sportsmanship award. This version, although lots of people around today calling close to themselves and judging me on the scene, I am judging them out. This guy, everything, he called every code by himself. And I'd like to bring up Ivan Monero from LHS.
Velcro is threading, and my zipper keeps good job. And believe it all, good sa akin namin. I'm just here for fun. Dude, I am here for fun. Oh, that's why you got it your place. Oh my God. Ano yan? Yan yung gagamitin sa Hong Kong siya. So, we will play it. Kasi ako gusto ko rin ang single. Kasi ang gano'n natin yung smallest na gusto ko mag
Especially yung mga single.
sabi ko, wala nang lakad. Ako nag-iisip pagkakayat.
Ngayon wala ka siyang makita.
Ayun pala. Together.
Iyo, pagbukas yung zipper ko, edit na lang ha.
Lalawit ko. Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Push it, yung wait ko. Yung hindi ka.
Wait lang, schedule ako lang. So it's Nicole, it's first, second place, honorable, and then all club representatives are here.
Fantastic.
Huh?
Fantastic.
Together?
Okay, folks, the award ceremony
3,
is done.
2, 1.
I'm going to be
3,
shutting
2,
down
1.
the live stream.
All right.
Thank you for joining us today. And I'm sure this will be
individual
up
photo shoot
on
pa?
our
What? Yes, I
actual channel for you to review a little bit later. They're going to bring it to the table. Yeah, but she won't just give it to me. She's got to bring it to the table. So it's coming over there. And again, thank you for joining us. We will see you again next time.